All right, and we are live. Kansas Speedway, Tracy and Wendy. I'll tell you what, looking forward to this race here tonight. The Halls on Post Monday night madness, and I'll tell you what, Toto, it's going to be a mad night tonight. The last time we were here last week, the RSN Team Series got out of there with 8 cautions, and I believe it was Bowling, Wilson, and Bunn 1, 2, 3 at that one. And I'll tell you what, looking forward to this race tonight. In the booth tonight, the Cowboy, they call me, J.D. Webb, Tracy Flip Robinson alongside me, Wendy Bernard helping us out tonight, and of course always on the buttons tonight, and the replay machine, John the Bad Boy Wrestling. Tracy, last week we were at Kansas with the team series, and 8 cautions. Average there was 6, but a little bit high for what we've been used to.
Yeah, I tell you what, we had a few extra cautions there. 8 was over our I think it was 7 was our amount we figured was the average. But I tell you what, most of our cautions were self-spin, so, coming back to this track again under the Monday night series, hope these guys learned something that night, maybe made those adjustments they needed to have that night, and we'll have a lot cleaner race, JD.
You bet. Then we'll keep an eye on Turn 2 and Turn 4 tonight. But Wednesday, Kansas Speedway again. Let's remind the audience what this place is all about.
Kansas Speedway is in Kansas City, Kansas. The track is a 1.5 mile tri-oval with an asphalt surface and has 15-degree banking in the turn. Tracy, JD, we're looking at about 62 laps on fuel tonight. Tires are going to depend on how well the guys out there take care of them.
You bet, as always. And I tell you what, last week we were about, let's call it an average of about 20 laps, Tracy, between cautions. Do you think we're going to see much of that happen again tonight?
Well, if we can get out there and get started, get in our first 5 laps, not having any cautions, those usually tend to lead to a lot longer runs, JD. So that's what we're going to have to look for. Guys take it a little easier maybe on the start, give each other some room, let them tires warm up, and let's get in a steady run there. I would look right around, even on a long run, JD, right around 40 laps is what I'm going to predict would be a caution time for a long run.
All right. Now, last week here at Kansas in the team series, these guys were absolutely prepared for that long run. It looked like it was going to happen, and then, of course, the banana peels got spread out from between Turns 2 and Turn 4, and, of course, that was the name of the game for the rest of the night. But let's talk about the last Halls on Post Monday night series. As you recall, we were supposed to be at Dover. And I'll tell you what, we had all kinds of issues that night, from track problems, car problems, broadcast problems, you name it. I mean, that was the full moon night for everybody. But went on to Chicago, Tracy, and although things didn't get a whole lot better, we did see a pretty decent race last Monday night.
Yeah, we had to make that quick flight over Chicago, but I'll tell you what, Chicago's a great track too, JD. It's a lot like Kansas here, but puts on a pretty good race. A lot of the drivers enjoy it, and like I said, we talked to these guys, and we're discussing how they're building their setups anymore, and talking to them whether they're making them long-run setups or short, but tell you what, they're all kind of starting to move towards that long-run setup. We had a great race.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll tell you what, we just sat through qualifying here, and Tony Bolin qualifying on the pole here tonight. We'll talk about Tony here in a bit. He's going to be one of the guys we're going to be looking out for. Kevin Brent starting on the outside of him tonight. Tony qualifying in with a 30.97. Kevin Brent outside with a 30.98, Tracy. But I'll tell you what, why don't you and I go ahead and go down through the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness team series. The Monday Night Madness points, and we'll let you know who's who and who's where as far as the standings go here in the Halls on Post Monday Night Series. Of course, starting out at the top, Kevin Brent. I'll tell you what, Kevin coming in with 3 top 5 finishes. Actually, he's got a win and 2 top 5s. And I'll tell you what, 130 points to the good side. He may be the man to beat this season. But he's got Jason Riddle right behind him, Tracy, up 1 position, 117 points, 13 behind Kevin Brent.
Yeah, you got going in 3rd place right now. The 7 of James Greegate. He's gone up 3 spots, JD. He has 2 wins, 2 top 5s, and 2 top 10s. He's got 110 points. He's 20 points back, JD. And in fourth spot, we got the 77 of Jason Krause, and he's got 3 top 10s, JD, with 107 points.
You bet. The man of the hour tonight, and he's sitting in 5th place here, down a couple positions here in the Halls on Post Monday Night Series, but qualifying on the pole tonight, Tony Bowling coming in with 2 wins here at Kansas and a top 5 finish here. So Tony is absolutely the man to look out for here tonight. 104 points, 26 points behind the leader. And then let's talk about Kyle, the Kid Lent. Kyle's sitting in 6th position. He's down a couple of positions this week too, guys. He's got a top 5 finish here, a top 10, and DNF'd out on 1 race. But he's 32 points behind the leader, Tracy.
I tell you what, we got the 7th spot. We got the Sean Brown machine. He's up 8 spots, JD. He's got 2 top 5s and 1 top 10, and he's got 95 points, putting him 35 points behind the leader. And running in that 8th position, down 1 spot, is Larry Mulliken. He's got 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. He's got 94 points and 36 back, JD.
And then in 9th position down here, up a position, the 55 car, Dwayne Hall, 92 points, 38 points behind the leader here tonight, guys, in the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness. And bringing up the rear in 10th position is going to be the 49 car, Frank Jockman, down a couple positions, but hanging tight at 89 points, 41 points behind the lead. And as long as we're doing this, why don't we go ahead and run down through the ETV Live Kansas picks tonight. And we'll show you who we're going to be keeping an eye on here tonight. And you can write these names down as well. Starting out at the top, Tony Bowling comes to Kansas with 2 wins, a top 5, a top 10, and he's also 5th in the standings. And I'll tell you what, Tracy, he's going to be the guy that I'm going to keep looking at tonight. I got him pegged for the win. Sean Brown coming to Kansas with 1 win, 3 top 5 finishes, 1 top 10, up 8 positions in the standings, Tracy. And I'll tell you what, Sean Brown, he may be equal to Tony Bowling tonight. Look for Sean Brown in at least a top 5 tonight. Larry Mulliken, our 3rd pick tonight. 3 top 5 finishes here, 2 top 10. Solid performance wherever he goes. He's currently sitting 8th in the points. Working for Larry Mulliken to at least be in the top 5 here tonight. Jay Bunn. We don't talk about him very often. Usually when we do, it's something involved in a wreck or whatever. But I'll tell you what, Jay Bunn deserves some TV time here. He's our 4th pick tonight. 2 top 5 finishes here at Kansas and a top 10. He needs to stay out of other people's business, dude. I'll tell you what, he seems to get caught up in other people's wrecks, and that sets him back a little bit. But I'll tell you what, if he can stay clean tonight, look for Jay Bunn in the top 5 here at Kansas. And then finally, the 5th choice tonight here, Dan White. He's coming to Kansas with 1 win, 2 top 5 finishes here. He's a former champ. I'll tell you what, Dan White is struggling. He's buried deep in the points here in the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness series. But, heard him in an interview one night, and it's like a whole new deal for him. Guys have gotten a lot faster here, and Dan's struggling to keep up with them. And then drivers to look out for here tonight, Tracy. Hal Beardsworth, he's got a top 5 finish here, a top 10 finish. James Grigay, of course, former champion. He was a points leader here a while back, but he's got a win and a top 5 here. And Dave Hooten for Dragon Motorsports. He's got a top 5 finish here and 3 top 10s. I'll tell you what, keep an eye on those 3 drivers here tonight, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's just a couple of drivers in there just need to keep their nose clean tonight. Stay out of people's, getting caught up with people. Maybe give a little, but let the person go and just come back after them. I believe we had one car that spun out quite a few times here on this track, and hopefully he has a good night and he won't have them issues, JD.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, looking forward to a great race tonight. Halls on Post Monday Night Madness series, but why don't we go ahead and take it trackside. National recording artists, the Cactus Cuties, present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, and we are back live here. I'll tell you what, Cactus Cutie is the best rendition of the national anthem that I've ever heard. But I'll tell you what, starting out on the pole tonight, the 21 car, Tony Bowling. Next to him, the 42 car, Kevin Brent. Tracy.
Starting in third position tonight on the second row is that 96 of Jason Riddle, and right beside him, the fourth spot, the 37 of Jay Bunn.
And starting out in fifth on the inside, 55 of Dwayne Hall. On the outside of him, his teammate, James Griegate, in sixth.
And starting in seventh on the inside row, the 27 of Larry Mulligan. Starting in the outside row of him in the eighth spot, the number 4 of Dan White.
And Frankie Samato starting on the inside in ninth position. Outside of him, the 8th car of Dave Booth.
And starting on the inside, the 99 of Steve Speed. Starting outside of him tonight in the 12th position, the 65 of Sean Brown.
And 13th on the inside, the 49 car of Frank Jockman, newcomer. And 14th on the outside of Jockman, the 07 Lance Walker.
And starting 15th on the inside, the 47 of Roger Haygood. Starting the outside row, 16 of Hal Beardsworth.
And Jerry Hinkle on the inside starting 16th. 17th, Jay Shaw.
18th tonight, the 28 of Howard Pittman. Starting 19th, the 98 of Kevin Franks.
And Joe DePino, number 20 in the inside. Outside of him, the 70, the wallbanger, Jesse Racimus.
Starting 22nd tonight is the 17 of Tom Baginski. And starting in 23rd, the 15 of Brian Pace.
He's starting 24th, and shotgun on the field, Mike Robinson starting in 24th. So, I'll tell you what, set to take the green flag here. Tony Bowling going to pick it up, but I'll tell you what, he's got some tough competition on the outside of him in the name of that 42 car, Kevin Brent, and Jason Riddle and Jay Bunn right behind him. So I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling is going to have his hands full right from the get-go as we are off to racing here at Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, we're just going to get through this first corner. Everybody takes it easy, give plenty of room, but you're going to see some people trying to jump out of that low line, JD, heading through one to try to get as much far ahead as they can.
You bet, still 2x2 back here, about 6th place back here, James Griegate in the 37 car, Jay Bunn, 2x2 as we go into turn 2 here. Dan White and Larry Mulligan side by side here, coming off of turn 3, turn 4, heading down the front stretch, and then Dave Booth and Steven Speeds behind him, sitting pretty much single file all the way back to the 3 car. Hal Beardsworth and Roger Haygood back here in 13th, 14th.
Yeah, I'm back here in the pack watching Tom Szynski and keep an eye on the front of him. And 70 car just anything he can to get around the 46 of Jay Shaw with the 34 of Jay Pino right on his side.
All right, just checking out the Halls on Post chat room over here. I want to say howdy to Danny Gabalden. I tell you what, Danny's got too much time on his hands. Seems like every time I flip over and watch that laptop over here with the chat room in it. Danny Collins always logged in there. Also want to say good evening to DB Proteas. I know who that is, and I need to know more about that.
Tell you what, Jay, you've got a new driver out there tonight. The 07 and Lance Walker, his first night running in Monday Night Madness there. I think he's doing a pretty good job just trying to ride around about the middle of the pack with these guys.
Yeah, Lance Walker, I ran in a league of his years ago. I want to say it was a NASCAR 2003 league. Might have even been on our, so we got it to call, but it's been quite a while ago. I know Lance, he's been around for quite some time. And Lance Walker, I think he kind of found out about us, Tracy. He was, I think he came in at the benefit race here at Kentucky Speedway here about a week or so ago.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remember him from that. And I know he did a good job. We had a lot of guys come and run that race. Got to experience what I like to run with a lot of the RSN drivers. Good to see Lance out here. It's always good to get another guy on the track, and we want to welcome here at RSN.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, 4 laps in already here. 100 laps at Kansas Speedway here tonight, guys. Things are looking pretty good. Of course, this is how we started out last week in the team series. Oh, Dwayne Hall takes a piece of the wall with him coming into turn 1 here.
Yeah, I pretty much know how that feels, JD. I tend to have that issue. You look high, you're trying to get the best arch out of the corner you can, and I tell you what, that safer barrier wall just trying to jump right out there, and you just catch it with that right front fender.
Yeah, you bet. And I tell you, just up here watching Tony Bowling, I tell you what, this is the master of Kansas right here. As Tony Bowling just makes it look pretty easy. We've got Jason Riddle behind him here, but Jason Riddle just, he looked not looking like he's making any kind of a move, just kind of staying put. I think he's just testing things out. So I want to see what Tony's going to do here for a while. And a lot of racing left here at Kansas to do, so, plenty of time for Jason to try something here pretty soon. James Gregate, now he was one of the front runners here last week during the team series, I believe, and finished, I'm not sure where he finished, but tell you what, James Gregate running up here in the top 5.
Yeah, I tell you what, the top 10 is doing a great job. Just kind of running out there. Looks like the single file. Looks like they're settling in for a long run here, JD. But I tell you what, that top 4 is starting to gap themselves a little bit from that 5th spot of Jay Bunn up there. But I tell you what, nice clean run. Everybody's looks like taking care of their tires.
I'll tell you what, we want to say a thank you to Dwayne Hall. I know he's put some time and effort here in on this track here at Kansas. And, helping John out with these cameras. Some of these tracks come with cameras that just aren't what John needs to broadcast with. Dwayne Hall puts a lot of time and effort into tweaking them out to the ETV specifications, and has done a fantastic job with them. What do you think, John?
Well, most definitely. I mean, anytime I have Dwayne Hall, I give him enough time. A lot of times the broadcasting in the ARCA series and the iRacing. Plus, me and JD always in development on the beta team here on ETV. Always busy around here, so a lot of times I don't let him. But I did let him know about 2 tracks. He's got horrible cameras. He jumped all over it, and here we are, Kansas Speedway with gorgeous cameras.
You bet. And I tell you, I'm back here in 19th position, Tracy, with Mike Robertson back here, and he looks like he's off the pace here. I don't know if this is a tire-saving effort on his part or not, but you got Mike Robinson, Tom Plazinski, Brian Pace, as Jason. Looks like Pace is going around here, guys. Brian Pace going around here. Tom Plazinski might have. Both of those guys might have hooked up here. And let me roll it back here on my monitor and see if we can't help John out here and pick this action up.
Okay, the leader just took the yellow. Pit road's closed.
Looks like
Pit road's closed.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Pace getting into the 17 car here, John, on the E-Play machine.
Yeah, looks like he's going to try and dive bomb here, right in front of Tom, or right behind Tom Paczynski, and around Tom's going to go hard looking outside wall. And I believe there's another car against the wall here. there's so much smoke I can't quite make out who that is, but hard lick for 3 drivers there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for that 17 machine. He took a hard bounce into that outside wall, that safer barrier. But tell you what, quite a bit of damage on that 17 machine, as well as Jay Shaw getting caught up in that melee as well. I think Jay Shaw was just an unfortunate victim in that mess, Tracy.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jay Shaw didn't have nowhere to go. Pretty much came up right behind him. The car's having to slow down real hard, got in the back of that 15. There's a lot of front-end damage to his car, JD.
All right, so that's going to be 3 cars damaged here on lap 11, and it looks like Brian Pace pulled his car behind the wall and is headed for the barn. But tough night for Pozinski and Brian Pace tonight, Tracy.
Yeah, it looked like I was watching back there a couple laps before that. JD, Brian Pace was being fairly aggressive, trying to get around that 17. Looked like he come down, caught the apron, slid right across the nose 17. Didn't cause a crash, and then looks like it came back around to the next corner. He's just trying to, I don't know if he's trying to get a run on the 17, trying to dive low, maybe slide up again on him, but it didn't work out this time, JD.
Yeah, I copy that. And, right at the time, it looked like Tony Bowling was being passed with lead up there. I don't know whether they were able to come around, and I don't know if Riddle was scored for that lap or not. Caution seemed to come out right when the pass was taking place. But putting the pressure on Tony Bowling up there, Tracy. But I'll tell you what, pit road. Are we going to get the qualifying tires off 12 laps into this one?
Well, looks like a couple people decided to stay out there, JD. The 55 of Dwayne Hall, the 70 Jesse Seamus, the 98 of Kevin Franks have all stayed out on the track. The first car was tires at 96 of Jason Riddle.
All right, first caution coming out on lap 11 when we go ahead and step away, and we'll take a quick commercial break, so don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Whoa there, cowboy. Ain't no need to get the hammers out and tear it all up. What you need to do is get a hold of David Bass, DB Tech Services. Technology support offered at a price affordable to most churches, not-for-profits, and individual customers. I'll tell you what, David Bass, IT specialist, over 5 years at the corporate level. Hey, man, computer maintenance, hardware and software upgrades. I'll tell you what, David Bass DB Tech Services, established specifically to provide lower-cost options to churches and non-profit organizations. So put the hammer away, dude. Get a hold of David Bass. DB Tech Services, dbtechservice.com.
All right, and we are back live, Kansas Speedway, the Halls on Post, Monday Night Madness, DB Tech Services. I'll tell you what, David Bass, if you got some computer issues, network problems, get a hold of dbtechservices.com over there, and David Bass will hook you up and take care of you. And Tracy, just going through my notes here from last week, the first caution at Kansas in the team series came out on lap 28, and guess who was involved in that one?
Oh, would that have been the 15 of Brian Pace involved there, JD?
Yeah, the 15 of Brian Pace. I believe I got his number circled on my notes. I believe he might have been the responsible party for that one, and as he was more or less for the one here tonight at Kansas in the Monday Night Halls on Pro Series. But I'll tell you what, the second caution in the team series came out about 24 laps later, on lap 48 last week, Tracy, so we should have about a 24-lap run in here, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, I just know something that's kind of unusual for that 55 of Dwayne Hall to actually stay out on the track to try to lead a lap. But now he's starting way back in the pack there, and 20th position, along with the 70 of Jesse Seamus and also the Sean Brown machine of the 21, all going to be starting from the back here, JD.
Yeah, Sean Brown, I'll tell you, he's one of our picks tonight. Looking for him to work his way up into the top 5. Sean Brown coming here with a win and 3 top 5s. He's got a top 10 under his belt, too. But I'll tell you what, some pretty impressive stats for Kansas Speedway. But meantime, up front here, Jason Riddle going to pick up the green flag this time. Tony Bolin taking a back seat to him. The 42 car of Kevin Brent, James Griegate, and Jay Bunn making up your top 5 on this restart, Tracy.
Yeah, hopefully we get that's a pretty decent run, JD, but we make 12 laps for the first caution. Get these guys going around here, got them fresh sticker tires. Or you never know, there's a few guys out there who probably like scuffs for this track. So everybody's got good tires, full of fuel. We should be able to get a good long run here, JD.
You bet. As the pace car pulls up, and we are set to go green one more time here. I'll tell you what, right behind all these guys, Tracy, is that number 4 machine of Dan White, former champion here at the nation. And green flag comes out. Jason Riddle gets a pretty decent start up here. He's got Tony Bowling in behind him. I'll tell you what, these two will probably battle it out all night long. It's like Kevin Brent's getting just a little bit sideways here with that 42 machine as James Griegate trying to work up along on the inside.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dan White's doing a great job out there, as you mentioned. He's just running back there, running around anywhere between the top 5, JD. Just kind of look like he's taking care of his stuff. Along with that 37 of Jay Bunn, he's staying right up there in that top 5 group, doing a great job tonight. Tell you what, but I look for James Griegate to try to get around these guys and get to that 96, that lead car, and try to get himself a few lead laps.
Yeah, you got that right. And, checking over here in the chat room again, I want to say good evening to Nicole Griegate. That's the wife of James Griegate running around here in the number 7 machine out here. Is Tony Bowling back to the front again here, guys. I'll tell you what, these two characters are going to be trading back and forth all night long, I believe. But Tony Bowling, he's our pick tonight. He's on our number 1 spot. Comes to Kansas with a pretty impressive record here, but behind him, Kevin Brent and James Griegate still going at it. James Griegate down here on the bottom trying to put something together here coming off turn 4.
Yeah, I tell you what, James Griegate's making his move forward. When Tony and the 96 and Jason Riddle started racing, tell you what, those 2 cars caught up to him pretty dang fast. As you look now, the 96 gets around that 21 of Tony Bowling trying to take the lead, but Tony's fighting iron strong up on the outside lane with James Griegate right on that 96 bumper. Who's he gonna pick to help draft it? He gets up behind that 21 of Tony Bowling, JD.
You got in a 42 machine, Kevin Brent, watching all that happen out there in front of him, and I'll tell you what, probably waiting for, it was contact between 21 Tony Bowling and Jason Riddle making contact. These two aren't going to give it up until the last lap, I don't think. It's Tony Bowling looking for another pass down here going at turn 2.
Yeah, I tell you what, he got 37 of Jay Bunn getting underneath the 42 of Kevin Brent, who gets really loose. Boy, I tell you what, I don't know how he saved that car, but he was able to. Jay Bunn gave him plenty of room. Dan White's coming out to the outside of Jay Bunn. I tell you what, we got a heck of a race here up on the front for the lead, JD.
Yeah, is this lap 98 or is this lap 19? I'll tell you what, the game on here, 20 laps into a 100-lap race here at Kansas Speedway, guys. I'll tell you what, all the action's happening out here in front. They just can't wait to get to that start-finish line. But I'll tell you what, they might have been taking a peek at Tony Bowling's records here at Kansas, too, and figured that he's the one with the target painted on his bumper up here. But Dan White, of course, former champion several times over here at the Nation, he's watching all that take place up there in front of him, too, and he's probably sitting where he usually likes to sit, at least up inside the top 5 here. But Jay Bunn putting on the pressure as he just gets a little piece of the wall going into turn 1 here, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dan White had his hands full trying to get away Jay Bunn. Jay Bunn almost able to make an outside move back around that number 4 car. So Jay Bunn now has that number 8 of Dave Hooten looking to figure out how he can get around that 37 car. But I tell you, the pace they're running now, look for cars to start pushing pretty early, JD. The 8 gets into the wall, exiting 4.
All right, and I want to say something about the number 3 car back here, Hal Beardsworth. Hal Beardsworth He's one of the guys that we're looking out for here tonight. Comes to Kansas with a top 5 finish. He's got a top 10 finish here. And Hal started in 16th position here tonight, Tracy. He's already moved up 6 spots, sitting up in the number 10 position here, working on Frank Jochman.
To JD, I just went back and looked at Sean Brown car. He was just down in the grass. Oh, he just loose coming off of 2 there, guys. If I don't know if John can find this, but he just loses it, goes all the way across the grass, almost gets the inside wall, and gets back up on the track, JD.
Yeah, and that set him back quite a ways, almost 17, let's call it 18 seconds back. And I'll tell you what, and the leaders are only about a quarter of a lap behind him, so Sean Brown needs to pump it up there just a little bit, but he may be looking for an early pit stop here. 24 laps in the books here already at Kansas. Sean Brown not having the night that he expected. Of course, Sean Brown, he's our number 2 pick here tonight, Tracy, so the 65 machine already in trouble.
And Sean did a heck of a job. He came off that corner, kind of got the car pinched a little bit, trying to make a pass on the bottom side, guys. Pinched it really hard, hot super loop. Spectacular car control by Sean Brown as he slides sideways on the track, and then had to keep it under control once he hit that slick grass. But he gets right back on the track off the transition line there. He's back going.
Yeah, I tell you what, those some great hand to Sean Brown to save that. A lot of times that's when that car is going to finish coming around, and you're not going to save it. So that's a good hand move of the race right there, JD.
Yeah, you got that right. Sean Brown, usually pretty good hand at the good hands moves, too. But back out here in front, Jason Riddle and Tony Bowling. I'll tell you what, Jason Riddle just tapping his bumper there just a little bit, coming out of turn 2 here, heading down the backstretch. Jason Riddle's looking all over the place for a pass here, and we're about a quarter of the way through this thing, but these two have been duking it out since the last restart back on about lap 13, Tracy. So I'll tell you what, the action happening out here in front and in the back.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tony's going to that corner, a slightly higher line than the 96 car is. Tell you what, just leaving him a sniff sometimes there on the bottom, but turned around and just closes up on him. I tell you, James Greegate is really driving that car hard, trying to get past those 2 guys. I'm guessing it looks like James is starting to push a little more than the 21 Tony Boy or the 96 Jason Riddle, JD.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll tell you what, I want to remind everybody, tune in tomorrow night. You have David Bass and Jesse James at the True Gravity Tuesday night truck races. I believe they're going to be in Atlanta Motor Speedway, dude. I tell you what, I don't want to miss that one either. That'll be a good one to watch. Is Jason Riddle duking it out with Tony Bowling up here in front. I'll tell you what, neck and neck here, coming out of turn 2 or turn 3 here. Turn 4 heading down the front stretch here. Tony Bowling dropping back here a little bit, going to give it to Jason Riddle. In the meantime, Dan White and James Greegate going after it here as Greegate moves past Tony Bowling.
I tell you what, that's a great pass. But I tell you what, I was watching back there. I believe it was last week we watched Kevin Brent's running this track, and he had an issue going to the corners. His car was getting loose, and you'd see him all of a sudden get on the brakes, and the car will straight up and turn to that outside wall. He just had that happen to him there about a half a lap ago, JD. That's how the number 4 of Dan White ended up getting around that 42.
Yeah, it's been about 18, 19 laps since that last pit stop, Tracy, and Tony Bowling starting to back it down here just a little bit. I got to think that the car's probably pushing here a little bit. I remember talking to the guys last week, and they, telling us about 20 laps or so in, why the cars do tend to start pushing here just a little bit, tighten up a little, and that's probably what Tony Bowling is experiencing here right now. Giving up the lead here to Jason Riddle, James Greegate going by him, Tony sitting in third. But Dan White Dan White's actually back down here quite a bit. Dan White sitting back here about 1.2 seconds back from Riddle, but looks like he's backed off the throttle a little bit here too.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're probably trying to cool them front tires down a little bit, JD, or that right rear, because I tell you what, they are racing hard for that first 16, 17 laps. And I tell you, James Grigate and that 96 at Jason Riddle look like they're still running their cars pretty much flat out with that 21, fighting over that first position. But looks like Dan White might be trying to conserve his tires a little bit there. It looks like he's starting to close the gap up on him a little bit. But I tell you what, he's not making a lot of distance at this point in the race, JD.
No, and I tell you what, had the chance to have an interview with Dan White here. I believe it was the first race of the series here. Dan White returning to the Monday Night Racing after taking Season 3 off. And a comment that Dan made, Tracy, during that interview was that, he's coming back. Things have changed. Drivers have gotten a lot faster out here. And, he doesn't feel as competitive as he was, before taking that hiatus in Season 3. And it seems like he, even he says he's got to put a little more work, a little more effort into working on his setups here now that things have gotten a little bit faster. Versemus getting a little bit sideways here coming off of Turn 4, guys.
I tell you what, the 3 of Hal Beardworth, he's on the way forward as he just gets around that 37 of Jay Bunn. Looks like his car is starting to get a little ill handling on him as the 3 works his way on him, but the 3 has also worked around that 27 of Larry Mulligan. So keep an eye on that 3 to start moving up here. Looks like he's almost to the top 5 already, JD. As it looks like we're having another race to the lead, but James Rigate just can't get under that 96 of Jason Riddle.
Yeah, Hal Beardsworth, started, I believe it was 16th here at Kansas tonight, and moving up, 10 positions now, currently sitting up there in 6th. So Hal Beardsworth pouring the coals on. Of course, he's one of the ones that, we're looking at here tonight. He's a driver to look out for here at Kansas. But I tell you what, Jason Riddle, James Grigate, Grigate going underneath the 96 machine, coming off of Turn 2 here, or Turn 4, heading down the front stretch. James Grigate to the lead, guys, as Jason Riddle takes up a position behind him. Tony Bolin seeing that all happening. And I got to think that Tony's probably minding his business, minding his tires, and certainly waiting for the laps to click off. 36 of them in the books here at Kansas already. 100 laps here at the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness Series.
Looks like the 42 cars wore off his tires, JD, as he's been pushed to the high side. The 3 of Hal Beardsworth, the 37 of Jay Bunn, 27 of Larry Mulligan, and I tell you what, who started at the tail end of that restart, the 70 of Jesse Racines. He's getting around that 42 car. He's moved up into, looks like, the 8th position, JD, 7th. Watch for that Jesse Racines boy. I tell you what, he's worked his way a long ways forward.
Yeah, he has, and I tell you what, got to hand it to him tonight. Jesse the wall banger Racines keeping his car pretty clean tonight. A little unusual for him. He's usually got at least several pieces of the wall embedded in the right side of that number 70 Red Bull machine by now, but got to give him some credit here tonight at Kansas. Jesse keeping it fairly clean. Larry Mulligan up in front of him in the 7th position, getting closer and closer. And I'll tell you what, probably seeing a lot of evidence of tire wear as Jesse Racines pulls right up on the bumper coming off Turn 4 here.
And it looks like the 4 of Dan White just getting underneath that 21 of Tony Bowling. Tell you what, that little bit of a slower lap time he was running, letting them get a little space, seems to help him with saving them tires as he's working on the old skill of saving tires for them long runs, JD. Tell you what, he's slowly working his way forward, trying to work his way up to the top spot, I think, JD.
And I gotta get my turn straight. I think it's these camera angles, because all I see is the back of a car on the track, and I can't tell exactly what turn we're in until we're about halfway out of it. So, but I'm still back here watching the number 70 Red Bull machine back here, putting the pressure on Larry Mulligan. And I tell you what, in front of him, he's got Larry Mulligan, Hal Beardsworth out in front, Jay Bunn up here. And I tell you what, these 4 guys pretty much running together as Racines cutting to the bottom here, coming off of Turn 2. Can't put it together to get by Larry Mulligan, but I tell you what, he's getting pretty racy back here with Mulligan. And Mulligan running the same line.
Yeah, JD, we got a caution out here. Looks like the 28 was involved, but as I'm rewinding it here, it looks like the 14 of the guy looked like they got together entering the corner. The 14 of Lance Walker, the 07 car, got loose and just turned around right in front of that 28 car, JD.
Oh yeah, I just finally picked it up here. I didn't have an indication that we had a yellow. I tell you, usually I get I hear my spotter telling me, whispering in my ear, but you're absolutely right. Looks like Lance Walker. I don't know if it was a banana peel or not, John. Maybe we can pull it up on the E-play and check it out.
And these guys kind of bounced off each other coming into the corner here, JD. And it looks like it's just going to get Howard Pittman loose, and they're both actually going to get loose here. And the 14's going to spin right in front of the 28. 28's going to go around. And Lance Walker, actually, it's showing the 14 car of Lance Walker. He's going to take a licking outside wall as well.
Lance Walker, new driver here at the Nation, driving that 07 machine here tonight. And tell you what, probably not the night he was looking for here, but you know, this is not unusual, Tracy. Caution number 2 coming out here on lap 41. It's the old banana peel striking again.
Yeah, I got up there in that dirty gravel, but I can tell you, just about a half a lap, almost a lap before that, JD, I noticed some smoke ahead of the leaders, so I went back and reviewed that. Tell you what, that 65 was Sean Brown. He almost lost it in corner 2 again. He went high on the track, and his car went sideways, and he had to jump on them brakes on the X and was able to save that car and get it back to pit road when that caution came out. So I'll guarantee you, Sean Brown is really happy that caution came out.
All right, caution number 2 here at Kansas Speedway. And I tell you, we're about almost to the halfway, about 8 laps away from the halfway point here tonight, Tracy. And actually, I got to commend these guys. Things are looking pretty good. A lot better than they did last week at the team series about this time in the race. But maybe we shouldn't talk about it anymore.
Well, one thing about it, we're going to consistent 18 to 20 lap runs. So that's good. That means people are giving each other some space.
Okay,
of course, you couldn't tell about that by the way them leaders
are
racing. But I'll tell you what, them guys have been racing together so long, they know how to push, and they all know how to respect the other drivers and stay out of them. Tell you what, that was a great job by those guys. I'm looking for a good, consistent 20-lap runs. If not, maybe we'll get up to maybe 30 laps, JD.
You bet. Well, that's actually a 30-lap run there. Last caution happening on lap 11. This one coming out here on lap 41. So, good job to these guys, but I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and take another break, and we'll step away and take a commercial here, and I'll tell you what, you're watching live, ETV Live. Hey, it's the only choice, dude. Kansas Speedway, the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness Series, and you won't miss a thing, so, hey, don't go away. All right, and we are back live, Kansas Speedway, the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness Series. Jason Riddle out there in front, James Grigate, Dan White up in the 3rd position, Tony Bowling, and the 70 car of Jesse Racimas, Tracy, out there in front. And I'll tell you what, that's a place that 70 car has seen before.
Okay,
we'll have to see how long he can stay up there.
Tell you what, JD, you go back to that last caution. Him and Dwayne Hall decided to stay out to lead a lap. So the 70, Jesse Racimas, he fell all the way to the back, even made one last stop just to top off that fuel before the green flag start. And look at this, after that 30-lap run, Jesse Resemus is running in that 5th position, JD.
Top 5 for that 70 Red Bull machine tonight. And I'll tell you what, Jason Rudel out there in front. And Jason, career stats, he's got 7 wins, 16 top 5s, and 27 top 10s in his career starts here with the nation. So I'll tell you what, pretty impressive record out here. But I'll tell you what, moving back here just a little bit, let's talk about Dan White. And I'll tell you what, Dan White, the Mark Martin of Race Sim Nation here, 128 career starts, guys. 32 wins, 91 top 5s, Tracy. So Dan White certainly coming to Kansas with quite a bit of experience.
Tell you what, JD, I ran with Dan White here the last season, and the season before that, before he took his hiatus. Tell you what, Dan always seemed to run up front, was able to get by all these guys. I tell you what, looks like everybody's tweaked them setups, got their game turned up, because tell you what, Dan stays up there in the top 5, but it's not like he's really dominating these guys anymore, JD.
Well, no, you know, that's why I was saying here a while back, as we get back to racing here again at Kansas, you know, Dan White's struggling to keep up with these guys now. And, you know, he talked about that during that interview at the first race here at the Halls on Post series. But Dan White certainly looking good here tonight, restarting in 3rd position out here, but he's got Greegate and Riddle out in front of him, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's almost the same situation they have in NASCAR racing. Is tell you what, if you don't stay up on your game and stick with it constantly, you could sit back a little while and everybody's going to pass ahead of you, and it's going to take a lot of work for you to get yourself back up there with them. And tell you what, he's doing a great job, keeps himself in the top 5, but tell you what a great restart. Everybody's single file pushing these cars for everything they got right off the bat, JD.
But, and I'll tell you what, we're approaching the halfway point, 46 laps into this thing tonight here, as Tony Bowling and the Ford duking out here, coming off of turn 4 here. I'll tell you what, Dan White fighting back on the outside, squeezing that 21 down to the apron line down here. I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling, he's been here before. He knows how to handle this kind of a situation. If Dan White can't put it together on the outside, and here comes a 70 car alongside the Ford, Tracy.
Yeah, 70's going to have a little tougher time getting around that Ford. You don't have anybody drafted in front of him as you watch it. Dan White pull back around on the outside. But tell you what, 70 Justin gets a great run to that corner. Looks like he's going to pull ahead of that 4 car. No, just they're still side by side. Tell you what, great race. The 4 pulls behind the 70.
Yeah, and the Resemus in that 70 Red Bull machine just tapping the apron down there a little bit. That could be dangerous territory here at Kansas too. And I'll tell you what, it's not like some of these other tracks where you can get right down there and come up off of it like Chicago. And you got to come off that apron down there, transition just in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, it's a date with you on the wall.
You know, it's quite impressive how hard these guys are pushing their cars this early in a run, JD. You know you're just doing some wear to them tires that maybe unnecessary to save with such a long run. But, you know, when you're out there running, you can never know when it's going to be a long run or a short run. So it looks like everybody, just like I said, just pushing these things for everything I got tonight, JD.
As James Greegate to the looking to get up here in the front, and I'll tell you what, Jason Riddle up here, he's not going to give it up here too terribly hard. As now Tony Bowling working a draft with that 7 car, and here comes a 70 machine alongside Jason Riddle. I'll tell you what, Jason Riddle giving up positions here, right and left here, a little unusual for him.
That's all it takes is them guys that just get you pushed up there a little high line as Jesse Resemus slides up into the side of the Jason Riddle as he's kind of pinching him there at the bottom of the track. But tell you what, they're still running side by side down the front stretch, JD.
Yeah, Dan White following in behind Jason Riddle here. Dan White watching all of that action taking place out there. But I'll tell you what, James Greegate out in front, Tony Bowling, Jesse Resemus, Jason Riddle, and Dan White still making up your top 5. And, of course, right behind them and working his way forward before that last caution on lap 41, guys, the 3 car of Hal Beardsworth.
Yeah, you got Hal following that 4-car around the track here. Just kind of watching this race ahead of him as Jason Riddle's doing everything he can to get around that 70 car of Jesse. We've seen that Jesse's giving him fits on there on the outside of the corners as Jesse holds Jason Riddle off, pulls back out in front of him, holding on to that third position, JD.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, we're 2 laps beyond the halfway point, so 48 laps to go here at Kansas Speedway. The Monday night Hauled-On Post Madness Series. I'll tell you what, things are looking pretty decent here tonight. Only 2 cautions so far here, Tracy, and a good 30-lap run between the first caution and a second one that came out on lap 47 involving the 07 of Lance Walker and the 28 of Howard Pittman.
Yeah, I tell you, we got the 65 of Sean Brown. He's trying to make his way back forward, JD. He just got around the 33 of Jerry Hinkle. Following Jerry Hinkle, we got the 37 of Jay Bunn. Had a great qualifying effort. Trying to work his way back forward. Just doesn't seem to have the speed in the car at the moment, JD. But tell you what, the amount of speed these guys are putting on is going to protect anybody's setups there tonight.
Yeah, you got that right. And hey, just checking out the calendar here again, and I don't know whether I was able to get all the way through this or not, but tomorrow night, you want to catch David the Big Mouth Bass, Jesse the Outlaw James, and of course John the Bad Boy Wessling tomorrow night at the Atlanta Motor Speedway truck races, iRacing, and I'll tell you what, you don't want to miss that. And then on Wednesday night, you hang around and watch the RSN Team Racing Series at Milwaukee, and that'll be quite the night too. And then of course next Monday night, the Hauled-On Post Monday Night Madness Series, Charlotte Motor Speedway. And I'll tell you what, Wendy, have you put some laps in here at Kansas yet?
Yes, I have. I did last week.
All right, and when are we going to be able to see that 82 machine come to life?
Oh, it's coming. I've already made a promise to my guys. I keep trying to hide my racing gear, and they keep throwing it at me. I don't have much faith in the matter.
I'll tell you what, looking forward to seeing that 82 machine out here on the track and mix it up with these boys. But tell you what, pretty clean action going on here tonight, Tracy. 56 laps in the books here at Kansas. And Tony Bowling and Jesse Racimas duking it out, going down the front stretch down here, going into turn 1. James Greegate holding his own out there in front. But I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling coming to Kansas with almost getting sideways there next to Jesse Racimas. Almost lost it there. Had to back off the throttle and let that 96 machine of Jason Riddle get past him now.
I tell you what, JD, if you look at that 70 car Jesse Racimas, he's running loose. He was just loose there on the bottom a little bit. But he's made both his passes to move to second position on the high line, this area where most people don't expect you to go, because everybody tries to get that pass on that bottom of the corner. But if you can get to the outside of them, you're going to make them have to cut their car in lower, which will actually slow them down and possibly get them loose like the 21 did, JD.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll tell you what, that Red Bull machine tapping the bumper of that number 7 machine up there, Hauled-On Post. Here a little bit, Jesse Racimas hunting down that number 7 up here, James Greegate. But I'll tell you what, Racimas, looking down the list here, I think Racimas started near the back somewhere. I'm trying to find his qualifying effort here at Kansas.
Yeah, I believe Jesse started way back in about 16th spot, JD, tonight. As the 70's looking under that 7, he's got a heck of a run coming down the front stretch. Looks like that 70's going to take and lead that lap, JD, as he gets his way around that 7 of James Greegate. Great job getting under him. Now the 96. He's got his way underneath that 7 car. Tell you what, that part, getting the person pushed to that high side, able to get a little bit of run on him. As the 21 of Tony Boland giving that 7 a push down the back stretch, help him try to get by that 96 car, JD.
Hey, but, we've seen that Highline work a couple of times last week, too, at the Team Racing Series, as Jason Riddle getting side by side with the 7 of James Greegate. Jesse Racimas looks like he's almost checking out. Now, last week at the Team Racing Series here at Kansas, we did see another car check out on the field, but then the race officials caught up with him.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's doing a great job. Seems to have a fast setup. But I tell you what, the 21 and the 7 get into each other, entering corner 3 there, JD. Pushed James Grigay really high, caused him to lose several spots. Tell you what, the 21-7 just bump each other as the 4 and the 3 get around them, JD.
You know, that 21 car and that 7 car are teammates on Wednesday nights, but I wonder how much of that team comes here to Kansas on Monday night, the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness series. But I tell you what, Hal Beardsworth, you know what, keeping an eye on him tonight. He's one of the mentions, one of the Kansas picks here. Hal Beardsworth, one of the cars that we're looking out for, top 5 finish here at Kansas. And I tell you what, I believe it was the 3 machine last week that got out there in front, took the lead, and just checked out as the admins were checking in.
Tell you what, JD, my mistake, it was a 4 car that got into the side of that 7, moved him up the track, but I tell you what, that 7's working all over the back of that 3 car. And if you know anything about that 3 car, you try to stick your nose underneath him, he isn't afraid to cut your nose off and try to hold you back, as he's sending the slide up a little bit, but I tell you what, James can't get a run on him.
Hey, but hey, while we're clean and green here, I want to make mention of the new improved, and I'll tell you what, John Westling, Sean Bickle, you guys have done an amazing job on the new house over there for etv-eplay.net. Pretty fantastic looking place. You want to go over there, and this season the downloads, the ePlays are all for free, and you can get over there to etv-eplay.net and check them out. I'll tell you what, some of the best racing action you'll find online happens right here at the Nation, racesimnation.net. And, the etv-eplay site over there is a pretty incredible place. You want to go there, get registered in there, watch the videos, the replays of the races here from the Nation, and you can even comment on the videos that you watch over there. I'll tell you what, better than the competition out there, ETV Live. It's the only choice, dude. And I'll tell you what, pretty good racing out here at Kansas tonight, here at the Monday Night Halls on Post Series. Checking over here in the chat room, I want to say good evening to 84ND House. I don't know who that is, but a guest with us tonight. And welcome to the broadcast tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to say hello to the 84 of Chris Wilson, and also at 7 of James Grigay. He got by the 3 of Al Beardsworth to move back up there into the 5th spot. But I tell you, the top 4 is running pretty much the same, and 96 of Jason Riddle doing everything he can to get to that back bumper, that 70 of Jesse Seamus. He just can't seem to get there, JD.
Yeah, you bet. There's Larry Malkin working over Hal Beardsworth here. Larry Malkin, one of the drivers to watch here at Kansas. Larry Malkin has 3 top 5 finishes here, guys. Solid performer here in the Nation. So keeping an eye on Larry Malkin. And as John slipped me one of these little post-it notes, 84 car is Chris Wilson.
All right, yellow flag.
Caution out. There's the 42 going around, guys.
The leader just took the yellow. Pit road's closed. Pit road's closed.
Kevin Brent's taking a ride here at Kansas. I'll tell you what, not the ride that he wanted to take, but got a funny feeling it might have been that banana peel down there, John Westling. '84 car taking a ride here. Go ahead.
J.D. Webb. Sorry, it took me a little bit longer to get to that one, but kind of shocked me to see that 42 go around. I don't think I've ever seen him self-spin or much less wreck that I can think of, but he definitely been struggling all night long here, guys. I mean, it seemed like he ran the top 3 there for a little bit, fell back to 7th or 8th, and it seems like that's about where he's been riding all night long.
Yeah, you bet. It doesn't look like he got any damage to that machine. Hard on the brakes here, able to keep it off the wall, and just kind of burned up the tires here a little bit. Almost narrowly misses that the outside wall here as the 42 machine comes to a halt, facing backward. But unfortunate for Kevin Brent here, and I'll tell you what, that's your points leader here tonight at the Halls on Post Monday Night Series as well.
Tell you what, he showed his patience as he waited for them cars to come by him, JD, before he tried to turn around and get
all
going back
cars.
the right direction.
Now.
But yeah, that's pretty. Not often do you see that 42 car come off the corner and get loose like that, JD.
Hey, Pat, and it's getting back to that note that was handed to me by John Wesley. It just simply says 84 equals Chris Wilson. I'm not quite sure what ND House means. I guess I'll have to get after Chris. But I'll tell you what, if that's who that is, Chris Wilson, how come I don't see him out here tonight?
Well, Tracy Robinson, you know, they always say the mind goes first and you know what goes next. So I'm just going to stop at that.
Yeah, you should.
We'll just say it like they do. 84 in the house.
84 in the house. I got you. All right. I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and step away for a commercial break here, and I can go refill my, never mind. I'll tell you what, you are watching live, ETV Live. Hey, we're the best in the business right here at Kansas here tonight. Monday night, Hold On Post Madness Series. So, dude, don't go away. You won't miss a thing here as we take our commercial break. All right, we are back. Kansas Speedway, the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness Series. And I'll tell you what, just the three of us talking up here in the booth during that commercial. Things always seem to change here at ETV. And, of course, it's always in a beta test. And I got to tell you something, Tracy. I was in the forums here at the Nation this morning. I seen this post up there by John. Said something about final beta test. Go look at this video or something. I thought, what do you mean final beta test? That's like calling the end of the earth, dude. That's like the end of an era. When is ETV ever out of beta?
That's when I thought we were switching to Theta test. Maybe get to the next letter in the alphabet. I don't know.
Well, maybe we should always say we're in alpha because I think beta comes after alpha. Tracy, is that right? Or I got the wrong math there?
I'll tell you what, John Westling always looking for ways to improve, and it's just a continual thing as we have somewhat of a new look here tonight. Just trying to bring a fresh face to ETV. I'll tell you what, you won't find any better out there than ETV Live. Is Jesse Racimus, Tracy, to the front, Jason Riddle, Dan White, Tony Bowling still hanging out, James Bregate. Your top five as we get going here again. Looks like Jesse Racimus might have had a little bit of a hiccup there right there at the start-finish line.
Yeah, but I tell you what, as fast as that 70 car came to the front, starting from the back the way he did, and also in fifth, look for him to, if he's as fast as he was to get to the top spot there, JD, look at him and walk away from these guys here on the start.
All right, and that was a 28-lap run between the last caution happening on lap 41. So I'll tell you what, Jesse Racimus hooking it up right there. About 20 laps into that run, he spent about the last eight laps of that last run, Tracy, just hunting them down right and left.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he did a great job getting, because he was closing distance on that pack running at their speed. So that means he's got a lot of speed in that car, and I guarantee you maybe as his tires warm up, they don't fade off maybe as fast. And if possibly he could run a faster lap time than guys force them to wear out the tires. We got a caution out, JD.
Just took the yellow. Pit road's closed. Pit road's
Caution's
closed.
coming out again, and tell you what, that one looked pretty bad, guys. Jerry Hinkle heavily involved in that one there. I don't know if he had any help. Almost looks like Jay Bunn might have had well, I don't know, John. I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Jerry Hinkle's on the high side. 37 is coming down. I can't quite tell from this angle if Jerry Hinkle got loose or Jay Bunn just couldn't blow it up. It almost looks like Jerry Hinkle got loose there and came down across the nose of the 37. It looked like that was the only car involved, guys, unless you've seen something I didn't. But he's going to slide back up the track right in front of traffic. And I couldn't quite make out who that car was. Came flying through there, almost nailed Jerry Hinkle. 14 car, it looked like.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you do a view straight from the rear of Jerry Hinkle's car, JD and John, you'll see his car up there, gets up into the marbles up on the high side, and it just starts getting loose on him. And unfortunately, the 37 was actually coming up to his line, and where he'd leave a space for one car. But Jerry Hinkle having to try to save that car, having to use up a little more room toward the bottom, and Jay Bunn didn't catch that in time, guys.
Yeah, you're right there, Tracy. Looks like he just starts losing it. Almost looks like he's going to get it back, but I'll tell you what, 37 machine Jay Bunn just right there, right next to him, and as Jay's pushing up in 37, Jerry's of course trying to get the front end of that car to come back around, and the two just kind of meet in the middle, and 33 car going around.
Okay,
so, caution number 4 here at Kansas, guys. Still in pretty decent shape, 76 laps into tonight's event. Still not bad, Tracy.
No, not bad. Tell you what, had some, like I said, really good runs. We were getting down here to pass that halfway mark, JD, and tell you what, last time we ran this track, that's when all the caution started to happen. So hopefully maybe we'll not have that issue this time. Everybody will let things get rolling again, and we can probably maybe run this to the end tonight, JD.
Yeah, let's hope so. But I tell you what, here lately, keeping an eye on these guys from race to race, even on the team series nights on Wednesday nights. I tell you what, these boys let it all hang out about the last 30, 40 laps. So a little unusual tonight, not seeing the action that we saw last week at Kansas here with the team series. But I tell you what, that also gave these guys an opportunity to check their setups, work on their cars a little bit. Came out of Kansas last week, Tracy, with 8 cautions, a little excessive, a little over the average here for these guys at Kansas. But all in all, it probably paid off, because I think we're probably seeing the results of that here tonight. Of course, we're only 76 laps into this thing, 3/4 of the way through. Race ain't over yet. A lot of action to come.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, the difference for this night compared to that night, we got a lot more of the top 6 racing cars as we head out for that green flag, and everybody's heading out. Tell you what, I think Jesse just got a little slower gear than that 96 of Jason Riddle, but tell you what, he's able to get that high run going to the corner and keep a lot of speed up. And pull around maybe Jason Riddle as they're side by side. I think Jason Riddle, thought he was going to get him, but doesn't look like he quite got him, JD, as Chester Racine was still hanging on that high side with Jason Riddle on that low line.
I think it was that 70 machine that we saw last week made good use of that high line up there. There's not many cars that can do that. Jesse Racimas, Wallbanger Racimas, I believe it was last week at the team series race, putting that high line together and making it work, is he just goes screaming past the 96. Tony Bowling trying to make something happen down here. 78 laps in the books here at Kansas. But I'll tell you what, Hal Beardsworth, good move to Hal Beardsworth here tonight, moving up into 6th position here. Started out 16th, moved up 10. Of course, he's one of the drivers that we're looking out for. Dave Hooten back here. We haven't talked about him a little bit. Inside the top 10, running 7th, Dave Hooten. He's one of the other ones that was on the list here tonight. Comes into Kansas with a top 5 finish and 3 top 10s here, Tracy.
I tell you what, the 21 of Tony Bowen was able to get around. The 96 got under him. got enough distance in front, did a little slide job across in front of him, took over that second place position. Tell you what, Jason Riddle's got that 4 car of Dan White now back in his bumper. The 21 Tony Bolin, he's chasing down the 70 of Jesse Racines, who has a really good car here tonight, JD. But you know what, when you watch his car, boy, I tell you what, that thing looks like it's pretty loose, but he's holding on to it tonight, JD.
Yeah, you bet. And checking over here in the Halls on Post chat room over here, I didn't see him come in, but I want to say good evening to Frankie Samato, one of the drivers for Dragon Motorsports on Wednesday nights. As the racing comes to a close here, 81 laps in the books here, just a handful of them left. But I'll tell you what, clean and green here tonight at Kansas for the most part. 4 cautions, Tracy, is all we've seen here. So is the 47 machine almost getting out of shape?
Yeah, I rewound that, JD. Tell you what, great job. That car started getting loose about the middle of the corner there, John, as he's going to show up on that replay.
Yeah, guys, he gets through the center of his car. I don't know how he saves his car. I mean, he's plumb sideways, guys. Saves it, gets back down on the apron, comes back off the apron, gets loose again, slides her back and forth, wobbles her left to the right, gets her straight and back out here, guys. Fantastic save by the driver. But he gets loose again, coming into 3. This guy's in trouble.
Yeah, we got a race to lead up here, John. The 21 of Tony Bolin caught up to that 70 of Jesse Racines, worked his way underneath him, looking to get by him coming into 1. Tell you what, if with Jesse Racines using that high line, this could be an interesting race for these 2 cars, JD.
You bet. I tell you what, Tony Bolin working the bottom down here, but Jesse Racines seems to have mastered that upper lane up here. He made it work last week. He's making it work this week as well. Jesse Racines not willing to give up that lead very easily, but I'll tell you what, he does have a fight on his hands. We've been talking about him all night long here. He's the #1 pick here at Kansas. It's going to be that 21 car, Tony Bolin. But I'll tell you what, almost making it 3 wide is the 96 machine, Jason Riddle. He's coming up here and saying, hey, boys, get out of my way. I'm coming forward. He's watching all that happen out there in front of him. Of course, Dan White, former 3-time champion here at the Nation. He's seeing all that happen out his windshield, too, and he's probably sitting there talking to Jason Riddle thinking, hey, dude, knock that off up there so we can get up there.
I tell you what, Tony Bolin's doing a great job on that low side. So with Jesse Racines on the outside, tell you what, it's real easy to start getting loose on that bottom side. Tony just got loose, allowed the Jesse Racines to get up beside him again, but you're constantly having to pinch your car down. Coming out of them corners, and you got that car on the outside of you, kind of taking some of the air off you a little bit. But I tell you what, great race. As we've seen earlier, Tony Bolin got loose there on that low side, but Jesse Racines will not just give him the full lane, allow him to come back up in front of him, JD.
Yeah, you bet. The less you have to turn your steering wheel, the less rubber you're going to scrub off of it. So Jesse Racines is probably saving a little bit of rubber on his tires running that Highline up there, but he's got to get off the throttle just a little bit sooner than Bolin does, as Bolin finally makes it out in front. A little contact between Riddle and Racines here. Racines staying on that top side up there, but I'll tell you what, Jason Riddle back here in 3rd, he's looking to take advantage of that 70 machine too. Of course, Dan White, he's just chomping at the bit. Dan White usually seen up in the top 5, currently running 4th, but he's got Hal Beardworth behind him, along with James Greegate piling the pressure on.
Yeah, I tell you what, the 96 comes up the track, almost gets up into the 70. Tell you what, having to use up all that track to the 96 again. As the 70, Jesse Racines gets back in front of him. But I tell you what, Jason Riddle not giving up that low line, diving underneath the 7, trying to get a run on him. Tell you what, having a real difficult time as Jesse Racines is running that high line. I mean, the best I've ever seen anybody run it here, JD.
But, somebody else we haven't talked about, spent much time on here tonight, the 37 machine of Jay Bunn. Of course, we kind of joked around at the top of the show. Usually whenever we mention his name, he's usually caught up with something. But Jay Bunn, one of the drivers that we were taking a look at here tonight, I believe we had him picked in the 4th spot here, comes here to Kansas with 2 top 5s. But and needs to stay out of trouble is Dwayne Hall into the wall, guys.
Yeah, it looked like Dwayne Hall got loose there, JD. Had to chase that car back up and ended up getting to the outside wall. I don't know if John got that on the replay or not.
Yeah, it looks like no green flag, so still green flag racing here, guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, that car just got loose, and he just really hammered the outside wall really hard, guys.
Maybe we can get John to take a look at the right side of his car, John. Take a look at the door on the right side of the 55 machine. It is just absolutely caved in.
Tell you the 21 of Tony Bowling has checked out on this group as Jason Riddle finally gets around the 70 Jesse Racines. Looks like he maybe wore his stuff out there in the high line, JD.
You bet. And James Grigate looking to take a 3 wide. Dan White working over the 70 machine of Jesse Racines. Dan White on the bottom. Gets past him coming off turn 4. Heading down the front stretch. I'll tell you what, moved Dan White up a couple positions. But James Grigate kind of lollygagging back here in 5th and 6th position back here. James Grigate was in the front, was the leader here. About the first 15 or 20 laps up here after he got past Tony Bowling, but James Grigate trying to hook it up and get past the 70 car now, too.
And the 4 of Dan White just gets around the 96, has to get in the brakes and slow his car down and keep from pushing up. And the 96 of Jason Riddle gets in the back of him, but hits him nice and square and just shoves him forward, JD. Tell you what, but now we got that number 4 there in second place. As the 70 of Jesse Racines is still working that high line on the outside of the 96 with the 7 of James Grigate underneath him.
Hey, but, I want to move back all the way back here, in fact, quite a ways back, about 10.7 seconds back to 19th place back here. I want to give a shout-out to Lance Walker. I'll tell you what, Lance involved in a caution earlier on lap 41, heavy damage to his car. But they would, hats off to this young man, the 07 car down here, hanging out, still on the track out here, just turning those laps. But, welcome to Race Simulation, Lance Walker, and a good effort here at Kansas tonight. As caution comes out for the 5th time here, guys. Looks like the 37 car, Jay Bunn, involved in this one as we try to play it back through here on the rewind machine. No, it's a 55 machine. The 55 gets loose. That banana peel coming out. Jay Bunn has nowhere to go and tags the 55 John.
Let's see if we can wind this back here just a little bit, see exactly what happened. As they're coming into the corner here, we've seen Dwayne Hall already hit the wall, and he's going to slide straight up to the wall here, guys. All the way sideways, hit that back spoiler. Jay Bunn is exactly right. Had nowhere at all to go.
Yeah, Jay had nowhere to go. There was another car, I want to say it was the 99 car of Steven Spieth, tucked right beside him. And Spieth's probably not able to get off the throttle enough to, turn his car down a little bit to allow Jay Bunn to get past. But Jay Bunn just plows into the driver's side door of that 55 machine, and a lot of heavy damage to that 37 machine, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, pretty tough on Jay Bunn there. 6 laps left in the race, JD. That's all we have. We almost made it to the end there. I looked for a lot of cars to be heading down pit road, but really strange and to see the 21, 4, and 3 all stayed out on the track. Look so far, JD. No, I guess it's just 21 and 4 not getting fresh tire. Everybody else headed down pit road.
I'll tell you what, that's a trick that Dan White usually pulls when he gets to this point in the race anyway. But Dan White and Tony Bowling staying out. And I'll tell you what, with 5 laps left, and Hal Beersworth staying out, 5 laps left here. Actually, when we get back to racing, it'll only be about 3 laps left, Tracy, when we get the green flag. So, a tire's going to be that big of a difference with only a few laps left?
Yeah, I do believe so. If you look at, like, for Jesse Racines using that high line, somewhere where nobody else is running, I believe he took 4 tires, and Jason Riddle and a couple behind him. A lot of them only took 2, JD. So that can make a huge difference for the final run here. And if Jesse Racines can get that high line working, a very good chance he could just drive around the outside of all these guys tonight.
All right, and I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and step away and take our last commercial break here for the night. You're watching live ETV Live, the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness from Kansas Speedway. Don't go away.
Gorilla Customs manufactures cockpit simulation controls and performance computers that are innovative and at the highest level of design and application standard. They work hand in hand with professionals throughout real-world racing to provide technology and fabrication industry's highest level of unmatched quality. Made in the USA, people. Check them out today. Your place for your highest gaming simulation standard. www.GorillaCustoms.com.
All right, and we are back live, just keeping an eye on the chat room over here, the Halls on Post chat room on the live page over here. I tell you what, David Bass and Frankie Samato and Chris Wilson over here talking about, what they're seeing out here, too. So I got a funny feeling Chris Wilson, Frankie Samato, and the boys over there, they probably think that Bowling, White, and Beardsworth might have made a mistake here. But real quick, Chris Wilson, what do you think? Mistake or no? And we'll wait for Chris to see if we can't get him to respond back here. But I'll tell you what, Tracy, I probably would have tossed the coin if I was a crew chief. We're going to get to racing back here with about 3 laps left in the race. And I don't know whether it would have been worth coming down pit road, losing positions, and try to get them all back in just a couple of laps.
Yeah, this is going to be based on if this is actually going to be our green-white checker, which I don't believe it's going to be, JD. If they take the green the next time by, that'll be just the final of the race, and there'll still be a green-white checker yet to come. So
okay,
I tell you what,
it
can really change things around if you're still on the old tires, and you get a guy back there with the 4 tires who moved up on your back bumper and then get a green-white checker to boot.
You bet. And I don't know, Chris says maybe, and then, of course, looks like David Bass thinking, it's going to make a big difference. But I don't know. We won't know until lap 100 when we get across the start-finish line for the last time. But here's how it works. We are still on the green here. No green-white checkered, but they will only have 1 lap to get it done. 97 laps in the books here at Kansas already. And here's what happens. If the caution flies on that lap, it will be race over, I believe, unless the officials call it a green-white checkered. But in any case, if they do come around and take the white flag, that's it. You got to make it happen on that lap. But we get set to go on green here one more time. Tony Bowling going to pick up another green flag. Dan White, Hal Beardsworth, Jason Riddle, and Dave Hooten inside the top 5. And this is going to be quite the finish, Tracy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the 2 tires and the no tires work and how far up these guys with 4 tires get. They're going to come around here, and I tell you what, it's all out on the table. Everybody's going to be trying to push that foot pedal through the floor to get that other little extra oomph. Let's see how this restart goes, JD.
You bet. And Jesse Racimus, I'll tell you what, the one that surprised us all starting in 9th here tonight, but the leaders get off to a pretty decent start up here. Tony Bowling looking to put it together here. Dan White hunting him down, but then Hal Beardsworth back here. We saw what Hal Beardsworth could do with a little bit of ingenuity here at Kansas last week at the Team Racing Series. Is Jason Riddle looking for the 3-car here. 3-car putting a big-time block on that 96 machine, and I'll tell you what, Dave Hooten sitting back here in 5th looking and seeing all that happen, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, look, we got 3 wide, 21 and 21 gets and hits the wall, saves the car. 27, Larry Mullick, and he gets caught up in that. He gets slammed to the outside wall, but he's still moving. No caution out, JD, as we're still working our way on the track. And I tell you what, Dan White is now leading this race.
Last lap, and Dave Hooten coming by the 3-car. I'll tell you what, door slamming each other here. Dave Hooten in that 3-car as Jason Riddle trying to put it together on the outside up here against the 4-car of Dan White. Dan White on the bottom, slides up, door slams Riddle. That's Dan White going around. The race is over for the 4-car as Jason Riddle collects the flag. Tony Bowling in second, James Greegate in third.
They're crashing all over the place here. The final of this on the racetrack, JD. Man, I tell you, wow. 70 Jesse Racines comes sliding across the start-finish line through the grass in 9th spot, JD. But tell you what, rough time for Dan White. Little door bang coming there. Just got him turned, and he couldn't save it, JD.
Hey, from the front to the back in about a tenth of a second, Dan White, you're right, Tracy, door slamming the 96 machine up here. Dan White, in that 4-car, getting upset by that, hits the apron line, spins it around, and slips all the way back to 18th. I'll tell you what, from the front to the back in a split second, as we watch Jason Riddle burn off what's left of his tires out here on the start-finish line.
Yeah, they come 4 wide across the start-finish line. Tell you what, we're lucky we made it that far, because we had a lot of cars getting the wall there on the beginning of that run, JD.
All right, and I'll tell you what, class action out here tonight at Kansas Speedway. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break here, and we will get ready for the Halls on post-race show here at Kansas Speedway. So don't go away. You won't miss a thing.
You're watching ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting. The very best in the business brings you the highest in broadcast quality and archived high-def replays for you to watch anytime for free. Superior audio and exclusive instant replays by the ETV ePlay machine. Producer John Wessling has talented commentators like the Cowboy, J.D. Webb, Tracy Flip Robinson on Monday and Wednesday nights, David Big Mouth Bass, Jesse the Outlaw James calling the action on Tuesday nights, and don't miss the ETV Live Band, broadcasting weekly from RaceSimNation.net. Catch the Halls on Post Monday night series, True Gravity Truck Races on Tuesday nights, and the infamous Team Series on Wednesday nights at 8:50 p.m. Eastern. Have some fun with the broadcast team in the ETV chat room. Hey, and listen to a live race canner. It's all at RaceSimNation.net on the live feed link. Remember, ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting. It's the only choice, Cowboy.
All right, and we are back live, Kansas Speedway, with the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness post-race show. And I'm in victory lane with someone who's no stranger to the podium, Jason Riddle, up here in that number 96 machine. Jason, what a night here at Kansas Speedway. I'll tell you what, I think there were probably some lessons learned coming off the team series here last week at Kansas, where we ended the night with 8 cautions. 5 of them in the books here tonight, but I'll tell you what, you looked real strong out here tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We had a pretty good car. It wasn't the best car by no means on the short run or the long run. I think I had a pretty good car from about lap 10 to lap 20, maybe somewhere right in there, but other than that, there's a few cars better than me. I got to thank everybody for some good, clean racing. Greegate, Bowen, Racines, all of them. There's a bunch of us up there. That was some close racing. That was fun.
Well, your performance here at the Nation has been top notch, and usually we see you at least in the top 5, if not the top 3. Pretty much on any given night, on any given track, you're sitting number 2 in the standings here in the Halls on Post Monday Night Series, 13 points behind leader Kevin Brents. But I'll tell you what, our picks for tonight, you weren't on the list, strange enough. But I'll tell you what a fantastic run tonight. That last lap action with Dan White, James Greegate out there, Tony Bowling out in front. Tell us what was going through your mind at that point.
When we got there, I was just hoping a caution didn't come out, because if a caution come out, the guys with 4 tires was going to be coming, and I know that. So I was hoping I knowed with 2 tires I could get to the front as long as nothing crazy happened. I knew I had the number 3 car in front of me. Everybody knows him, and it's hard to get by that car, but I made it happen on the high side. That was the only way I was getting by. And when Dan come up, got a little loose, I guess, give me a bump off 4, I was ready for that. I knew it was coming. We was both driving it for all we had.
Well, there you go. I'll tell you what, Mr. Rill, you're a class act anywhere, seen you race here at the Nation, and I'll tell you what, you are an absolute class act out here. Any shout-outs out there you want to give?
I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody in the booth, man, I go back and watch these every week. That's what makes it so fun to me, going back and watching these. That's interesting. But I got to think, I ain't in my elite sim racing car tonight. John Wesson, he's sponsored my cars and kept me and my teammates going just about since I started sim racing. I really appreciate that. And like I say, everybody with a clean racing. Then, of course, I can't forget my east to west teammates, Chris Wilkes and Danny Gabald and Ernie Delfonso and Frankie Sarmento. I appreciate all the help.
All right, and I'll tell you what, again, you are a class act here at the Nation, and it's a lot of fun to watch you race pretty much anywhere we go. But I'm going to go ahead and throw it on down pit road just a little bit, standing by with Tony Bowling, Tracy Flip Robinson.
Yeah, I cut up your second place finisher, 21 of Tony Bowling. Hey, Tony, how would you describe that race?
That was some intense, crazy racing out there. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun in the booth. You know, as much fun as we had on the track, I hope it was fun for you guys to watch.
Yeah, we were paying a lot of attention. Tell you what, a lot of hard racing there in the top 6, in the early part, middle, and pretty much the whole race. You guys never slowed down, never took it easy on each other. Tell you what, great job. Tell me about that last restart when it looked like you got bumped down to the blow side.
I knew I was a sitting duck when we got that caution come out. You know, that's one of them things when you're the leader, you don't know what to do. You don't know whether to go in or whether to stay out. You know, it's one of them things, if you go in, everybody else stays out, and when you stay out, everybody goes in. So, you know, I just had to drive it for what it was worth there at the end. Luckily, it come home in second place, but, you know, unfortunately, we had a car to win the race for sure, but, you know, happy to get the top 3 and get out of here alive.
All right, Tony. Is there any thanks you want to give out there tonight?
I'll definitely shout out to all the guys that was racing with us tonight. You know, that was some really good racing. Everybody was fairly clean for the most part. You know, I got to thank you guys up there in the booth, and most importantly, I got to thank my sponsor, Halls on Post, Angela Hall and Dwayne Hall. You know, they put me in the car to go out there and run, and my teammates. You know, without them, we probably wouldn't be out there doing what we're doing.
All right, that's your second place finisher tonight here at Kansas Speedway, the 21 of Tony Bowling, and I do believe I'll throw it over to John. You put the cameras down and caught up with the 96 of Jason Riddle.
Yeah, Tracy, I never can put down my cameras. Never put down my cameras. But, I've caught up with the 7 of James Grigate. Always loved interviewing James. He pretty much interviews himself. He's such a good speaker. But great run out there, James Grigate. We expected a lot more cautions out of these drivers tonight, and they weren't holding back. I mean, it was all bars out. I mean, these guys did a spectacular job. I mean, Jesse Racimus fought you guys off on the outside for over 20 laps, James.
Oh, man, yeah, look at that. What a good run. I mean, the mile and a halfers for Jesse, he's going to become the mile and a half guy as far as that's concerned. He ran really well at Chicago, really well here. He's really quick. He's obviously up there near the front for qualifying and racing. And I think for that one, he came all the way through the field and put the car out front. You know, I was trying to save tires when I was out front, and he came up on me. I was like, all right, I'll let him burn them up. But unfortunately, I got put up there. I got moved out of the way again and got moved out of the way again. And next thing I know, I was sitting like 6th or whatever in line. And just had to try and fight and claw all the way back through. But, man, what a crazy finish.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were fighting tooth and nail back there, and nobody really wrecked there until about turn 4. And I think it was just all melee there happened. It looked like a car got loose there. Tony Bowling got in the wall, and it just kind of checked everybody out back there. But a spectacular run, that 7 machine tonight, James Grigate.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, talk about all heck breaking loose out of turn 4. When Tony got up, pushed a little bit towards the wall, I went back and looked at the replay, kind of bottled everybody up, and I clipped the rear bumper of Larry Mulliken, so I got to apologize for him because I know that he ended up getting damaged. He was running, I think at that point we were like 7th or 6th or something like that, and ruined his night. So I got to apologize for him, or to him for that. But God, that last lap and a half, that's what it's all worth, man. That's what it's all for.
Well, James, great run tonight. Seemed like you kept that car in top 5 all night long like you normally do here. I really thought you was going to win this race about halfway through. It just looked like you really had the car to beat, but lost a little track position. We know how hard it is here at RSN to pass these top-notch drivers. But anybody want to give a shout-out to before we send it back up to the Mile High Stadium and J.D. Webb?
Yeah, I do. I got to kind of go with Jason and Tony and basically say all the drivers here at Race Sim Nation. What a hard-fought race, but ultimately for the amount of cautions we had, it was very clean overall. A lot of fun. I got to thank my wife, Nicole, Angela Hall, and Hall's on Post Accounting and Tax Services. That's coming up. We're into October. April will be here before you know it. So start getting it squared away, get to her. And everybody at ETV, you guys are awesome. True Gravity Art Designs, just glad to be here.
There you go, J.D. Webb. We closed another show. We're pushing on our 400th broadcast. Did you know that, J.D. Webb?
400 broadcasts. I tell you what, there is no better than ETV Live. But boys, I'll tell you what, Kansas Speedway, these guys put it together here tonight. The last time over here, 8 cautions, averaging about 12, 14 laps between them. Tonight, 30 lap runs, 28 lap runs. I'll tell you what, Tracy, what a night here at Kansas.
Yeah, I tell you what a great night. With just another time proves how great the drivers at RSN are that can run side by side, a guy in the high, guys on the low, and run that many laps straight and stay out of each other. And I tell you what, run at a very high speed. Great job. I tell you what, JD, we got some people we're going to thank tonight as we get out of here. We got to thank True Gravity Art Design for decorating the RSN website. Go check it out. It's a beautiful website, always been kept up. MTCO Gaming Servers for hosting the best sim around and giving us nice, stable servers to run the game on. NVJG Web Hosting for hosting the RSN website, keeping that up in front and running all the time for us. Halls and Post for sponsoring the Halls and Post Monday Night Race Series here at RSN. DB Tech Service, sponsor of the Saturday Night Thunder Series. Arca League Manager, keeping our points correct and straight for us to keep up and keep everybody knowing where they're at. And the Sim Factor producing a great game like Arca Sim Racing.
You bet, and the list just keeps going on and on and on. Exile Racing sponsors the Sunday Night Shakedown Series. How about the nation itself? I'll tell you what, there would be no place to race if it weren't for RaceSimNation.net. We'd like to thank Jody Johnson, the ETV Live journalist, for the RSN weekly race headlines at the website, and also for doing the weekly power rankings, although Jody has been on hiatus this week, actually for a couple of weeks. I think he's been caught up with his other regular job. But also like to thank ETV Live executive producer John Westling, always looking for ways to make improvements here at ETV, and of course to Trackmaster Dwayne Hall. Dwayne Hall for reworking the tracks that we race on. And my co-host for Monday and Wednesday nights here, Tracy Robinson. Wendy Bernard, hey, thank you, Wendy, for keeping the RSN news ticker flowing tonight. Many of you don't know, kind of a new added feature here on ETV, the RSN news feed down there at the bottom of the screen. Wendy's taking care of that. And, of course, to say the least, we always need to thank the drivers here at RaceSimNation.net. Some of the best racing out there ever found online happens right here at the Nation. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow night, David Bass, Jesse James, John Westling, catch them at ETV Live, 9 o'clock. The True Gravity Truck Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And on Wednesday night, the RSN Team Racing Series, we see these boys back here again. Milwaukee Mile this time around, guys. And then, of course, next Monday night, the Halls on Post Monday Night Madness Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So I'll tell you what, ain't no better racing than you find right here on ETV. And with that, from Kansas Speedway, we'll see you on Wednesday night.